So I think this is the first time in a couple years where I really just don't know what the Giants should do in the draft. They have the 6th overall pick. Now, in 2017, for the 2017 draft, to me it was very obvious that the Giants needed a tight end. They didn't have a tight end. Tight ends are really important for an offense, for the run game and the passing game, for mismatches. And to me, David Njoku was the guy. I really wanted the Giants to draft David Njoku. I was still happy with Evan Ingram because, to me, it was obvious they needed a tight end. Last year, 2018 draft, it was obvious they needed a really, really, really good running back. And the best running back in a long time, Saquon Barkley, was on the board. I knew that the Giants were going to draft Saquon Barkley. I did not have a doubt in my mind. As long as the Browns, pick Baker Mayfield or someone else, or, who else was it? Nick Chubb or something like that. I knew the Giants were going to pick Saquon Barkley if he was there at number 2. I knew it. Actually, I celebrated more because I had a draft party. I celebrated more when the Browns picked Baker Mayfield than when they picked Saquon Barkley, because to me that meant that the Giants were getting Saquon Barkley. I was excited. But this year, there's so much the Giants could do with that pick, and I think any one of them would be good. Like, I would be happy with a quarterback as long as it's the right guy, as long as the Giants feels the right guy. I trust him. I would be happy with one of these offensive linemen. The draft is deep with offensive line, and I'd be happy with a pass rusher. I think those are the 3 acceptable answers to this question. What are the Giants going to do with this draft, or what are they going to focus on in this draft? I think it's definitely going to be a defensive draft, but that being said, well, to me, quarterback is an afterthought. It's like, okay, if there's no other player, I think it's got to be the right guy if they pick a quarterback. You don't just pick a quarterback because Eli is you pick the quarterback when the right quarterback comes along. You have the 6th overall pick. That's a very valuable pick. You don't just pick any player. Quarterbacks are the most bust-prone picks they're not safe picks. So you got to remember that. So I don't know for sure if it's quarterback. I wouldn't be mad if I heard, with the 6th overall pick, the New York Football Giants select Dwayne Haskins, quarterback, Ohio State. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't like Kyler Murray, I don't think. I don't think he'd be a good fit for the Giants. I think he'd be a better fit for the Cardinals. But I don't know. And then there's Duke. There's a Duke quarterback, Daniel Jones, and I would be pretty happy with him. But at 6, I don't know, because quarterback is such a weird position for, like I said, it's the most bust-prone position in the draft. You got to be careful, and I think the Giants will be. I'm just trying to get you guys to understand. Like, first of all, to me, I don't want to open up this can of worms for this video. I don't want to open up this can of worms. If you actually know what you're talking about, you know that Eli Manning's not a bad quarterback. It's just the bottom line. The only reason anyone thinks that is because the media refuses to let go of the idea, to let go of the narrative that Eli Manning's a bad quarterback. It's not true. You see the stats he put up. And you could say, yeah, they padded his stats. Look at Tom Brady. They called Tom Brady the best quarterback of all time, and I'm not arguing, but the guy he's not a gunner. He's not, a gunslinger. You don't have to be like a bomber to be a good quarterback. You got to be able to see. You got to be able to read plays. It's not padded stats. There's so much more to quarterbacking than making throws. Tom Brady, he's the best at reading, seeing where plays can develop and seeing, he can look at a target and he can see the field in front of him, and he can notice, okay, if I give it to him, he could do a lot more with it than if I do it to this guy. And that's his ability to process the field. And Eli Manning's got a similar process. He's a true pocket passer. He's been doing this for a long time, and I'm sorry, but he's on the all-time leaderboard for passing yards. He's not a bad quarterback, and he had one of the best seasons of his career. I said I didn't want to open that can of worms, but hey, I opened it. Let's see. So quarterback, I don't think it's a pressing need right now. I think Eli Manning, there's no reason to believe that Eli Manning can't still win at quarterback, especially with, I mean, look at the offense. The NFC East, in the NFC East, the Giants led in points scored. I forgot exactly how many points a game. It was like 27 points a game or something like that. Led in points scored. But they also led in points allowed. That is a defense issue. You know how many games that the Giants would win if they actually had a good defense? A lot of them. They probably would have been in the playoffs. I'm not, like, seriously. Don't make team building more difficult than it has to be. Don't make team building more difficult than it has to be. So the Giants, they have a lot of needs. They have a lot of problems. They were 5-11. But they're not that far off. They have a lot of talent. They have a really good offense. They need to work on defense this year. Eli Manning, if he stays at quarterback, he will do a good job. Only draft a quarterback if you know he's the right guy. So moving on from quarterback, to me, the most pressing issue on the team, it's not offensive line. It is pass rush. It is edge rush. It is defensive line. B.J. Hill and Dalvin Tomlinson did a good job in the interior. They got some sacks. They're great with run stuff. The Giants need edge rushers. So let me go. Hold on. So you do have Quinnen Williams. He's a DT. If he's on the board, you got to take him. He's Quinnen Williams. I mean, look at all these edge rushers. Josh Allen, Nick Bosa, Cleveland Farrell. Let's see. Montez Sweat. Any one of these guys. The draft is so deep with edge rushers. It's a defensive draft for sure. To me, that's the most pressing issue. Why? Because, well, I firmly believe in football games are won up front. They're won at the line of scrimmage. If a quarterback is feeling comfortable in the pocket the whole game, not being pressured, just has a ton of time to throw the ball, and has time to like make plays with his feet. If they're gonna win the game. They're gonna play well. Any quarterback in the NFL is gonna make plays if they're feeling comfortable. You have to pressure the quarterback. And we don't play in a league with a bunch of bad quarterbacks. A lot of these quarterbacks are really, really talented. The Giants are playing against Aaron Rodgers, I believe, this season, and Tom Brady as well. So the Giants need to be able to. Oh, and you got Carson Wentz, and Dak Prescott, and both of them, if they're not pressured, that they will pick your team apart. So the Giants need to be able to pressure teams. They're not going to win games. They need to be able to pressure quarterbacks. That's the most glaring need to me, and that's what they need to focus on in the draft for me. But it's not a clear cut because you also have one of the best offensive lineman classes in recent years. Right away you got Jonah Williams, who's an absolute beast. I would be very happy if the Giants got him. It would solidify that O-line. It would be the bona fide answer at right tackle or left tackle, whichever one. I mean, you could have him at left tackle, and then you could have Nate Solder over to the right. I think, to me, that's what I would do. And you got a ton of let's see. This guy's got, let's see, OT Jawan Taylor, or is it Jawan Taylor? I've watched Greg Little. I've watched tape of all these guys. They're all so good. Let's see. Cody Ford, I'd be really happy with Cody Ford. Cody Ford's actually really good, and this guy's got him going in the second round. If the Giants could get someone like Cody Ford in the second round, that would be sensational. So you got two position groups that the Giants really need, that are deep in this draft, really deep. You got D linemen and offensive linemen. It's a lineman draft. It's a lineman draft. So you can't. To me, you can't draft a quarterback when you're in that position. It's not the biggest need on the Giants. And also, it's not the most talented position. You got to draft for talent. You can't draft, you can't use a sixth overall pick on someone who's not as talented. If there's someone more talented and it's someone that you need, right? To me, it's like a no-brainer. If let me look at that one more time. I'm looking at the draft rankings. If Nick Bosa is on the board and Dwayne Haskins, which won't happen, it won't happen. But if it does, actually, let's say Josh Allen. If Josh Allen and Dwayne Haskins are both on the board, you got to pick Josh Allen, I think, for the Giants. I'm sorry, you have to. You can't pick Dwayne Haskins if Josh Allen's on the board. Dwayne Haskins isn't as big of a need. You got Eli Manning, who's playing well, so get the player that you need. That's what the Giants are going to do in the draft. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you're liking these. I try my best, guys. Let me know what you think the Giants are going to do in the draft. I've never been so like flabbergasted and dumbfounded at what the Giants are going to do. I don't think I've been a Giants fan my whole life. I've really been following them since 2013, 2014. 2014, the year OBJ became a Giant. The year he was drafted. That was the year that I really was like super involved as a fan. But I've been a fan my whole life. I've always known what was going on. I don't think I've ever been like, oh my gosh, I don't know what they're gonna do. Because you really don't know. To me, it's either pass rusher or offensive lineman. To me, because I feel like I know how Dave Gettleman does his business, and I think that's he's got to be he's got to be drooling over this draft class. It's right up his alley. So I think he's gonna draft some hog mollies. The Giants got 10 picks. It's not only that sixth overall pick they have in round 1. So guys, I told myself I was going to make this video shorter than my last one, which was like 14 minutes, and right now I am not doing that well. So have a good day. I'll probably see you tomorrow or something, and I hope you like this video. Have a good one.